Good afternoon, everyone. This is Konstantin from ApprovalMax. I'd suggest we wait for maybe 1 minute for those people who are running a little bit late, and then we'll be starting the webinar. Okay, I see that people are coming in, and I'm very happy about that. And we'll be starting very, very soon. Okay, everything seems to be working quite well. And hello once again, you're welcome to our webinar about ApprovalMax and how we help QuickBooks Online customers. My name is Konstantin, I am Director of Product at ApprovalMax, and I will be your presenter today. So what is the plan? We will start with a brief theoretical part where we will talk about what ApprovalMax generally is, and what are the benefits that ApprovalMax provides. And it will be maybe for 10-15 minutes, we'll see how it goes. And we will have a demo part today. We'll have a chance to see how ApprovalMax actually looks like and work. And of course, we'll have some time for Q&A. By the way, there is a Q&A button in this Zoom control panel. And in case you have any questions, you are very, very welcome to type them in there. And I'll do my best to answer all the questions that are coming in today. And well, let us get started. So first of all, what ApprovalMax is. ApprovalMax is an app that connects to QuickBooks Online and that covers a number of very important workflows. We are doing purchase order automation and bill automation workflows, meaning that we provide multi-role, multi-tiered approval process for these two types of documents, for purchase orders and for bills. And the core benefits that you can get when automating these workflows is, first of all, financial control. So with ApprovalMax connected to QuickBooks Online, you can make sure that those processes that you want to happen in your organization, they are actually happening. Those people who need to authorize purchase orders, they do authorize purchase orders. Those people who need to authorize bills before they're getting paid, they are actually authorizing bills that are being paid. And what is important is that we focus a lot on security and compliance. That is one of the core topics for us. One of the important benefits that ApprovalMax provides is that approvers who are authorizing bills and purchase orders, as well as requesters who are creating purchase orders and bills, they do not need to have access to QuickBooks Online at all. It means that you can enable a workflow where different department managers, project managers, well, geo managers, depends on your organizational structure, they could be authorizing their bills and purchase orders. At the same time, they will not need to have access to QuickBooks Online itself. So they could be removed as users from QuickBooks Online. And we see that it is very important from security standpoint. Another thing to mention is that ApprovalMax provides audit report and audit trail capability. And it means that for each bill and each purchase order that is being authorized, we first of all keep a full history of who has created this document, who has approved it, what were the commands, concerns in regards to this bill or purchase order, and of course, most importantly, who has made this decision to authorize this particular bill or a purchase order. We also create a file, a PDF file that is called audit report, that clearly states who has authorized this particular bill or a purchase order and when. And this PDF file is actually also uploaded to QuickBooks Online. So when you're looking at a particular bill in QuickBooks Online, you will see that, well, this bill is approved by this particular manager. And well, you are safe to pay this bill now. Another thing is that we have a number of features that allow us to detect certain standard fraud-like situations, right? So we see that there are sometimes some activities that might be considered as a fraud. And we detect such things and we raise some alerts saying that, well, something might be going wrong here. We see that this particular bill has not been properly authorized and you need to take a look at this. Also, we are handling exceptions. For example, if someone is not available for a couple of weeks because they are, well, on vacation or they're not available for some other reason, then you can actually select a person who will be authorizing bills and purchase orders on their behalf while they are not available. That is quite important because it makes the process scalable, right? It means that when, well, if someone is not available, then another person is just approving on behalf of them. Another important thing in regards to security and compliance is that we do provide single sign-on capability both with Intuit and with Google. So for those people who do have access to Intuit, it is possible to log into ApprovalMax without having a separate set of credentials, which is quite handy. And for those people who actually do not have access to QuickBooks Online, and that is, as we have discussed in the very first bullet point, very important, those people could be logging in using Google SSO, well, provided that you are using that in your organization. And the last bullet point to mention here, we have implemented 2FA, two-factor authentication, and we already start enabling it for particular clients. And then a little bit later in October or maybe November latest, we are planning to make a full rollout of this two-factor authentication feature that is also quite important in terms of security. Whom ApprovalMax is for. So what are the companies that are using ApprovalMax? First of all, there are two segments, I would say, and two types of organizations that benefit from ApprovalMax. First of all, these are organizations that have internal accounting teams. And for those organizations, we provide a solution that helps you to get rid of paper-based approvals and do this approval process in work from home style, as we are all currently doing now. So this is for internal accounting teams. As for accounting and advisory practices, we provide an app that allows to automate and properly organize outsourcing of accounting and bookkeeping. Some of our clients, well, as you can see on the slide, we have BDO, Deloitte, KPMG, PwC as clients. What they're doing, they are organizing the workflow with clients in a way that their clients approve bills before they are being paid. And it means that accounting and advisory practices, they are sharing the financial responsibility with their clients. So it's not like they are making all the decisions on their own, right? They are asking their client in an automated, clear way, transparent way, which is very important, like whether we should pay this bill, whether it is good to be paid, like goods have been delivered, services have been provided, it's not a fraud, and such. And yeah, it is actually saving quite some time. Let me actually mention how ApprovalMax fits into the overall spend control application stack. There are different apps in the market, right? There are apps that are doing different things that are taking care of different part of the spend control process. And let me focus on a couple of them. Well, first of all, QuickBooks Online. It, of course, plays a very, very important role here because it is a centerpiece of the overall solution. That is a solution that other add-ons, other apps are connecting to, such as ApprovalMax, for example. And then let me mention another category of software solutions. They are called, well, they could be called data entry tools or OCR tools or data digitization tools, right? What they're doing in the essence, they are saving you time, right? That's what they do. They take care of data extraction. So you send them, say, a PDF file or an image of an invoice, and they are taking a look at it. They're applying some smart technology and extracting the data from it. Saves lots of time. And that is very important because Receipt Bank, ApprovalMax, and QuickBooks Online, we are all in the essence part of one end-to-end workflow. And that's what actually I'm going to focus on. Before that, let me mention two important things here. We think about spend control in a way that it could be reactive spend control and it could be proactive spend control. By reactive spend control, we assume the workflow where you are authorizing bills, and basically you are checking each particular bill for, well, for fraud, for duplication, for such things. It is a very good starting point for sure, but the problem here is that it is reactive. Reactive in the sense that, well, you're looking at a bill that supplier has sent to you already, meaning that, well, very likely goods have been already delivered and services have been provided, and it's just too late to decide that, well, we shouldn't have done it at all, right? Another thing, another option here in spend control is proactive spend control, and this is when purchase order workflow is implemented. It means that with the purchase order workflow, you can control the commitment that is made to the supplier. In other words, you can stop some expenses from happening right at the very beginning, not when supplier sends you an invoice, but when you're looking at the purchase order and saying, well, we shouldn't be doing that. It could be happening for different reasons, because, for example, a person who is raising the purchase order didn't know that we have 100 of these laptops already in stock and we should not be buying another 100 because, well, why should we have 200 of laptops, right? Or maybe it could be happening for other reasons. Anyway, using purchase order workflow is, in our view, a very good thing because it gives you proactive control over your spendings. Let us take a look at how these workflows are organized. And yeah, as I have mentioned, first of all, we'll take a look at them from theoretical standpoint, and then we'll see how they are configured in practice. First of all, bill automation, which is reactive spend control as we call it. First of all, well, you need to have a bill in order to start the approval process. And there are two ways how bills could be entering the approval process. Of course, you could be just creating a bill in ApprovalMax. Why not? You can go to ApprovalMax, you can click Create New Bill button, type in the information, upload the bill, and submit it for approval. That's perfectly possible to do. Once this particular bill is going through approval flow, it will be pushed to QuickBooks Online. But there is another method that became available just recently, and well, I mean really just this week or late last week, and this is an integration with Receipt Bank. So we have been working on this solution for quite some time, and finally we have entered the private beta stage where you can give it a try. What is this solution is all about? Instead of creating bill manually, you just send it to Receipt Bank. Receipt Bank extracts the data automatically and pushes this data into ApprovalMax. ApprovalMax takes care of the approval workflow, and once the bill is fully approved, fully authorized, then it is pushed to QuickBooks Online. So with a combination of Receipt Bank and ApprovalMax, you are getting lots of benefits. You're saving time of data entry, and you make sure that financial controls are in place, that each bill is properly authorized. And here comes proactive spend control. This is where purchase orders are involved. And purchase orders are created in ApprovalMax. That's the best practice. You create a purchase order in ApprovalMax. Requesters of the purchase orders, as I have mentioned, they do not need to be users of QuickBooks Online, which is great. And requesters of purchase orders, they could be restricted in terms of which data they should be able to select, like whether they should be able to select this particular supplier or this particular category. All these restrictions could be applied. Purchase order is going through a multi-step authorization workflow. Once it is fully approved, it is pushed to QuickBooks Online, and it could be automatically sent to the vendor, which is quite important and handy because, well, you just save some time. You don't need to manually email this purchase order. It is just sent right away automatically. A couple more things that I need to cover before we switch to the demo is how approvers work in ApprovalMax. We know for sure that approvers oftentimes do not want to spend too much of their time on different types of approvals, right? Because, well, they are oftentimes busy managers. They want to be notified, they want to easily make a decision about particular bill or purchase order, and that's it, right? They don't want to remember that they need to go somewhere, check which bills they need to authorize and such. So what we're doing here, how we help approvers to work with ApprovalMax. There are two most important things. First of all, we send email notifications. Once there is a bill that is waiting for the approval of a particular manager, we send this manager an email saying, well, Nicholas, for example, or Oliver, there is a bill waiting for your approval, please make a decision. And they have two buttons right in the email itself, so they can click approve or reject button in the email notification, and this will actually complete their approval exercise. Or there is another option, kind of hidden option, but I can share with you. What you can do, or what approvers can do, they can just type approve as an email and send this as a reply to this email notification. So if they don't want to go find this approve button, they just click reply, approve, and this approval will be recorded by the system. So the system will recognize that this particular person replied approve, and that's why it will be recorded as approval decision. Another thing to mention here is that we have mobile apps for both iPhone and Android devices. And it means that approvers, they could work while they are not at their laptop, right? They could be somewhere not particular currently at their workplace, right? They could be not having laptop with them for quite a long time, but they can just get push notification on their mobile phone, just check what this bill or purchase order is all about, and click approve, right? Push notifications are very important here. Once again, it means that approvers, they don't need to remember that they need to go somewhere. They are notified, they make a couple of button clicks, and that's it. The bill or a purchase order is authorized. Okay, good. We have completed the theoretical part. Now let me switch to the product itself, and let us see how it looks like and works. And then we'll switch to the slide deck again for a couple of final things to mention. You should be able to see my browser right now. Good, so we are in ApprovalMax, and in ApprovalMax there are two areas that I would like to cover today. The first one is kind of configuration area, where the workflow is configured, and the second one is approval area, where approvers make decisions. And let us actually start with the configuration part. Let me click on this navigation menu button. And here in the navigation menu, you see that I have two organizations. They are both, as you're guessing by the name, demo companies, not real ones. And this organization, it is connected to a QuickBooks Online file. As I have mentioned, we have a tight integration with QuickBooks Online, and one organization on ApprovalMax end connects to one organization on QuickBooks Online end. And of course, you could have multiple organizations. By the way, that's quite a popular use case. We have quite a number of clients that have not just one QuickBooks Online file, but that have dozens of QuickBooks Online files. And a typical question is, well, how does it work? Well, it works perfectly. You just create this couple of dozen organizations here, you connect them to QuickBooks Online, and they are independent on one hand, but on the other hand, for approvers who are part of multiple organizations, it is all very straightforward. They do not need to switch. They have just one decision required list where they approve all the bills and purchase orders that are coming in. Back to the configuration part. So I'm going to approval workflows area of a particular organization connected to QuickBooks Online. And in this area, you can see which workflows we cover in connection to QuickBooks Online. These are, as we have discussed, purchase order workflow and bill workflow. Let us take a look at bill creation and approval workflow. When you just start a trial, it looks like this. You have the first step where the bill could be created right in ApprovalMax, or it could be actually picked up by your sheet bank. I'll mention that a little bit later. And then you have approval steps. And now I'll illustrate in just 1 minute how easy it is to configure the workflow. Currently, I'm the only person approving all the documents. But it's very easy to add other people. So you just click here and you're saying, okay, I want to invite another person, that will be approver one, and this person will be also making approval decisions in this step. So you have added this person, let me add another person, and let me add another step, and let me add one person here. And here we need to discuss why do you need to have these multiple steps in the workflow. The core idea is that sometimes the process should be a multi-step process. For example, you could have project managers and then CFO, or you could have department managers and then chief executive officer, or you could even have 3 steps: project manager, CFO, and then chief executive officer. And these managers, they should be making decisions one after another. You don't want to notify everyone at once, right? You want them to be involved sequentially one after another. So you could define these sequential steps. The first step, let it be a region manager approval, assuming that we have a region-based structure in the organization. And the second step, let me call it CFO approval, where CFO will be kind of double checking certain types of bills. Another important thing is that in each step, there is so-called ApprovalMax. With ApprovalMax, you can define rules of who should be authorizing different types of documents. And rules could be based on different parameters, on different fields, such as amount of the document, requester, that's the person who has created the document, vendor, product and service, category, etc. And all this data, it is actually synchronized from QuickBooks Online. And that is very important because, well, you don't need to enter all this data. It is just coming from QuickBooks Online. Like in my case, I have just clicked on the button and you can see the list of categories configured in my QuickBooks Online account. Let me just pick a couple of categories randomly, right? I don't want to spend too much time on this. And now we have a rule saying that if bill is related to one of these 3 categories, it should be authorized by this manager. If bill is related to one of these 3 categories, it should be going to this manager, right? So that's the rule that we have just defined. And in the second step, let me do it differently. Let me say that CFO needs to be involved only if amount of the bill exceeds, let it be 20,000, just for example. So that's how easy it is to configure the workflow. As you can see, you don't need to be an engineer to define these rules in ApprovalMax. It is very, very intuitive. Let me close the bill workflow. Let us take a look at the purchase order workflow, and we'll spend just 1 minute on this because in the essence, it is all the same. There are multiple steps and there are rules that you can define in each step, and you could have multiple approvers, etc. What is important to mention here is that once a purchase order is fully approved, it will be not just pushed to QuickBooks Online, but it could be automatically sent to the vendor. And it means that you could save some time, or to be specific, actually, requesters for each purchase orders could save some time because, well, they don't need to take this 2-step approach. They just create a PO, and once approved, it will be sent to the supplier right away. Good. So these are the workflows that we have. And let me also mention this receipt bank connection. As I have mentioned, that's a brand new thing. It is currently in private beta. So it means that if you are interested to give it a try, let us know, and we will be happy to enable this for you. In the essence, what you need to configure here is that you connect ApprovalMax to QuickBooks Online, and then you connect a receipt bank to ApprovalMax. So you have these 3 steps: receipt bank, then ApprovalMax, then QuickBooks Online. And it works perfectly, meaning that receipt bank is taking care of data extraction, ApprovalMax takes care of approval, and QuickBooks Online is taking care of, well, all the rest, right? All the other things that receipt bank and ApprovalMax is not taking care of. Good. Then let me switch to the decision required list. This one is very important because in this list, approvers see those bills and purchase orders that they need to authorize. Currently, we are looking at a bill that has arrived from receipt bank. Well, you can tell this by this avatar of receipt bank here, and that it is saying receipt from receipt bank. And that is the result of extraction that has been done by receipt bank. So this reference number and details like amounts, it has all been extracted by the seed bank. I was not doing this manually. Approver is notified at this point. Approver can check the bill. Approver can, by the way, check the original supplier invoice and do it in a side-by-side view, which is quite handy. And once they're comfortable with this particular document, they just click approve. If they're not happy for some reason, they need to click reject. And this bill will not end up in QuickBooks Online. So for approvers, it is very straightforward. They just have the decision required list where they can see documents that they need to approve. They're notified with email, they're notified with push notifications, and yeah, their life is getting just easy. Good. Then let me actually switch to my slides again, and let me mention a couple of more things. First of all, we do provide a partner program for accounting and bookkeeping practices. And as a part of this partner program, you are getting additional benefits. Well, if you're an accounting and bookkeeping practice, of course, you are getting all the attention that you need, including interactive trainings, including consulting on demand. So we will help you get started with ApprovalMax and help you onboard your first client. You will get a dedicated account manager who will be helping you with all the questions you might have. You will get priority support by email and phone. And what is very important, let me highlight this one. You are getting ApprovalMax for free for your own organization, meaning that you could be using ApprovalMax for your own needs, for bills, for purchase orders, completely for free. We have a special partner edition that you're very welcome to use. And of course, you are getting discounts when you become our partner. And we have a nice tool that is called Partner Program. You can find all the information you need about ApprovalMax and our partner program, and some nice case studies and such in the partner portal that you're very welcome to check. So, well, I would recommend and encourage you to sign up for our partner program. You will get the slides if you would like to just click on the link instead of typing it. And this will open up a partner onboarding form, and you're very welcome to follow these basic steps. It won't take too much time to be onboarded as ApprovalMax partner. Well, I think I have covered all the things that I wanted to cover, and we have actually some time left for the Q&A. Let me thank you for your attention and for listening for both theoretical part and the demo part. I hope it was useful for you. And yeah, you're very welcome to click on this Q&A button. It should be somewhere in the Zoom screen. Well, depending on where it is on your screen, it could be on top or on the right. And ask any questions you might have using this Q&A area. And I'll do my best to answer them all. So yeah, you're very welcome to start asking questions. While questions are coming in, let me mention that if you would like to get a trial of ApprovalMax, it's very easy to do. You just go to ApprovalMax.com, and there is a large free trial button, and you can just click on it, go for a very basic wizard, entering your email, first name, last name, then connecting to QuickBooks Online, and that's it. So it takes like a couple of minutes to get a trial of ApprovalMax. And it is free, of course, and it works for 30 days. So you can check if ApprovalMax works well for you. And then you can actually have another trial if you'd like. So trial applies to each organization independently. So you can try ApprovalMax for one QuickBooks Online file. And if it doesn't work, then you can actually try to match. You can try to connect another ApprovalMax organization to another QuickBooks Online file and see how it works. Should you have any questions, you're very welcome to ask. Actually, let me check. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a couple of questions here. So the first one is, with receipt bank, do bills automatically go to approvers, or can we set up to go to AP clerk for review first? Well, that is a very good question. It's up to you. So that's a very simple answer. So you can configure it in both ways. And actually, I have seen both configurations. So the first configuration is that you are saying, well, once the bill is in the receipt bank, it should go straight for approval. Why not, right? Some organizations prefer to do it this way. Or if you would like someone from AP team to take a look at this bill first, then you can just create a step. You can call it a review step and add your AP person there, or maybe multiple AP persons there. And they will just take a look at this bill and say, okay, it looks good. Receipt bank has perfectly done the job, and it is matching exactly what is shown there in the original supplier invoice. And then move it to the next step for authorization. Thanks for asking. It's a very good point to cover. Another question that I got is how does ApprovalMax enable tracing of approval activities for auditing? Well, we have briefly covered that already. Let me highlight one particular thing, one particular feature that we have. It is called audit report. Audit report is a PDF file that is automatically created once a bill or a purchase order is fully approved. And this PDF file could be just downloaded, and well, it could be shown to the auditor when it comes to auditing process. And of course, it's automatically also pushed to QuickBooks Online. And it means that for each bill and purchase order that has been authorized, you will see all these audit reports in QuickBooks Online itself. So maybe, well, why should you download the PDF file? You can just show auditor that for each document you have this PDF file, and they can check any of them, and they will have a complete proof of the proper approval by a particular manager in the organization. Good. If there are any other questions, you're very welcome to ask. Okay, looks like we're not getting any additional questions. Well, then let me thank you for joining the webinar. You will get a recording of the session, and you will get this slides that I have shown today. And should you have any questions about ApprovalMax, about any specific part of it, or any questions about partner program or pricing or something, you are very welcome to get in touch with us. It's very easy to do. Just send an email to support@approvalmax.com or to sales@approvalmax.com, and be sure that we will get in touch with you and answer all your questions. Well, thanks so much for joining the webinar again, and have a great day.